Hey guys, I feel like we have so much to talk about. So that is why this show is going to be 45 minutes, and probably the next couple of shows will be that long. And then the show after the finale, I'm thinking should probably be an hour, or maybe even the one before the finale. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. So I'm just wanting to say, first of all, hello to everyone who is here. Reagan and Holly and Tony and Stephanie and who else is here? Tara and Raelia, and I know there's more of you here. Where are you? Let's see. If I missed you, just say hey so that I can say your name. Drin, thanks guys so much for being here. And let's just say, wow. Last night's episode I thought was good because a lot of the things that we had been speculating about and things that we had theories about were actually confirmed. And I feel like a lot of us were on the right track, or at least some of the things that I have predicted were right. But we have the big question, and that is, who is that second RD? Who is this twin sister, if that's really who that is? LGG, hey, thank you for being here. So where should we start? Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you, kind of recap like what happened that I think is important that came out of last night's episode. We learned so much about Boone. Sadly, he died, but Nick Jonas ended up having one really big episode that was pretty much about him, or a lot about him. So we had him confirm that he is one of the bathtub babies. He is one of the twins. And from everything he said, it's him and his twin sister. We can only assume who were out for revenge. So we know that. We know that he was pretending to be gay. We know that he was the Red Devil who Zayday stabbed because he's like in love with Zayday. So a lot of you predicted that. That was true. What else do we figure out? I think that's pretty much it as far as confirming things. And then also it looks like Hester has died, if that is what's really happening, because you just never know with these shows. So I have been like really thinking that unless I feel like there's something else here that we're missing, or something they're going to throw at us that we're not expecting. But on the surface level, it seems like we should be able to really figure out who this twin sister is, because honestly, how many people can it be? So I want to ask you guys who you think the twin is, the other RD who ended up killing her brother, and why is it that person? Thank you, Kay. I really appreciate it. I have like a different lipstick on today. So, all right, don't wear it a lot. It's a MAC lipstick that probably none of you care about. But anyway, thank you. I appreciate it. So LGG, if you want to be called something else, I'm not sure what your real first name is, you can let me know. Likes the part when Chanel dresses up and gets confused. Yeah, and I really liked a lot of the Chad Radwell stuff from last night, and I'm still holding out hope that he's pretending, but he just seems so stupid. It seems really real, but I don't know. I still feel like he might be part of this whole reveal. But I'm kind of concerned about this twin girl, because really, who could it be? I mean, it has to be a white girl. I mean, unless this is not who this person is. And at this point, what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, so the whole Hester scene, when that was going down, when she was being killed, if that was actually going on at the same time as the Boone killing scene, then those Chanels could not be the twin sister. So really the only other person it could be would be Grace, right? I mean, am I missing something? Tony thinks there's 3 RDs. Okay, so I am starting to, that is a really good point. And I think possibly, I really do think there's someone else involved. And here's why. I think that that person dressed in the RD costume with Boone wasn't really his sister, because maybe him and his sister really were close and his sister wouldn't kill him. So I think that was someone else. Okay, Gigi knew who that person was, but I don't think it was who Boone thought it was, if you guys follow. I missed some of your comments, so let me see if I can figure this out. Okay, so Dren says, probably nobody noticed, but when Gigi entered the room where Boone and the RD were staying, she said, I don't remember about teasing Boone and I don't know. Something's I think you've had some typos, Dren, and I can't figure out what you're saying. Dren and an RD had RD had a relationship with someone. I'm so confused. I'm so sorry. If you can write that again, we'll get it all cleared up. Tony says, how could the RD get back to the house from the Chanel #3 incident? Okay, so that's a good point. The only thing we knew, or we know for sure, is in last night's episode that Boone was the person who killed Earl Grey, basically because he was jealous of his relationship, because he was in love with Zayday, which I found really funny. that he seriously was in love with her and that we were wrong because he was just pretending to be gay. Kay says for some reason totally called the RD killing Boone. Yeah, honestly, Kay, yes, I was thinking that. I was like yelling at my TV last night that that RD was not going to kill Gigi. I knew the RD was going to turn it on Boone. I knew it. But just, after I watched it a second time, I started to think, I don't think that was his twin. I think that was another person. And I do think that Boone thought that that was his twin because he was like talking to her like, oh, we've been in on this and we need the revenge and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think that was the twin. But I want to know who the twin is. So that's the thing. If that is not the twin, then that opens up our suspects and it could be one of the Chanels. Because even though that opens them up to being one of the suspects, still, we don't have that many people who could be the twin sister unless it's someone we haven't met. Oh my gosh, what about that Feather girl? Surely it's not her. I just thought about her because why did they bring her all into this? Do you guys think it could be her? Oh my gosh, I would hate that. That would almost be like CC on PLL. Okay, Tony, I agree. If Gigi knew, it could be Grace's dad. And honestly, I do think it was a guy because it just seemed like their mannerisms and the way that they stabbed Boone and everything. To me, I was getting guy vibes. I don't know. So Kay says, I know GXOXO does a lot of videos on this and PLL, but anyway, she said she talks about how the candle vlogger could be Boone's twin, and she faked her death like how Boone faked his death, but she feels like they wouldn't do that fake death twice. That would be stupid to me, honestly, if we have another person who faked their death. Joseph, yes, Feather Girl is supposedly in jail, but you know how this stuff goes. Someone could have let her out. She could have broken out. Someone could have let her out so that she could continue the killings. I really don't think it was her or think that she's an RD, but I'm still really confused why they pretty much devoted an entire episode to her if she means nothing. Because you guys have to remember, this is a standalone season. This does not carry over, so we don't get to learn more about her next season or anything. So why did they bring her character in? That really concerns me. Like, why waste an episode on her if we're never going to see her again? So Tara says Boone also said to Gigi that she wasn't his mom before he got killed. Yeah, I mean, basically, I just feel like Boone is kind of just didn't like Gigi anymore, and he was like, you're not our real mom, blah, blah, blah. He just wanted to kind of make her feel terrible. Kay cannot believe that Chanel killed Hester. I know. I was wondering if she's really dead, but like some of you have said, I don't want to deal with any more of these fake death scenes. I mean, Boone is enough. Let's leave it at that. I'm not going to be happy with the show if there's more people who come back to life, okay? LG Jesus feels like the second RD killed Boone because he was actually the weakest link, not Gigi. Boone was a weak link. He was causing all kinds of problems, no doubt. I mean, he's kind of responsible for getting himself killed, to be honest, because he was walking around in that disguise, which wasn't a disguise. Everyone knew who he was, saying stupid stuff like he was a ghost. He was just putting himself in a lot of bad situations. Plus, he was like so obsessed with Zayday that he was totally forgetting that he was supposed to be dead. And yeah, a problem. Gokai, I think I'm saying your name right. Thanks for being here again. Did I pronounce it right? Okay, great. Good, yay. Okay, so Tony says Chanel number 3 could be the twin because she told everyone that Boone was a ghost and everyone knew it was a lie. And she does act pretty stupid a lot too, and she probably really isn't. This is the girl who claims that her dad's a real life serial killer and all that. I don't know. Once again, we had Chanel 5 be in a situation where she should have been murdered and she wasn't. So I really don't know what to think about that. That is really shady to me. So Reagan says 100% believe the person that was with Boone wasn't really the twin sister. What if Boone thought it was his sister, but the person who was in on it was actually in the costume? I definitely think he thought that was his twin for sure, but it wasn't. But the person in the costume was strange. Right. And it was like the person wasn't reacting to like anything that if that was a girl that was her brother, she wasn't acting normal. Right. The person did seem scary, very creepy, very, I don't know. For my ideas about that, I think it was a guy. I think it was Pete, or I think it was Grace's dad. Could be wrong, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. So just a reminder, this show is 45 minutes because we had so much fun. I think I've already said that, but if you're just joining in, don't worry, you're not that late because we're having a longer show tonight. Drin said when Gigi entered the room, she teased Boone and RD. Here we go. This is your comment again that we're trying to figure out. And Boone said to her, don't judge now. And at that moment, thought that Boone and his sister had an incest relationship. Okay. let's hope not. Let's hope they don't go there with the, I don't know. Let's hope not. That's giving me Pretty Little Liars flashbacks, and we can't deal with those, obviously. Um, so, I mean, honestly, we need to figure out who the twin is. And I think even though the twin is not, or probably was not, the person who killed the brother, I really think that the twin is also not a good person and has probably done some killings because she's in on the whole thing. Most likely, I don't know. I mean, I felt Grace from the very beginning, so I don't know. I did feel bad for Zayday Tara because she seemed to really care about Earl, and that was awful, but I did not think Earl was going to make it, too many more episodes alive. So, hey, the book ball, I can't remember your first name. Thank you for being here. Still wondering about Chanel number 5. We don't know that much about her family. Could she be Boone's sister and not know? After all, Boone didn't attack her, just the driver. Yeah. I am really suspicious of her, like I said a little bit ago, because she's been in 2 situations where she absolutely should have been killed and she wasn't, and that doesn't really make sense at all. Gokai says, laughing so hard when Denise was telling the Japanese ghost stories because they are indeed real. Okay, so you're half Japanese, so you were amused that it was about Japanese monsters. Those were cool stories, and she did keep saying that they were real. So it's cool that they did use real stories, or I don't know, maybe hopefully they're not real. That's really scary. Yes, so Drin is asking what my theory is. Well, honestly, that's kind of what I've told you. I've kind of told you, but I'll try to summarize it again. My theory, I do not think that the person who killed Boone is the twin sister. I think it's a guy. My top suspects for that person are Pete and Grace's dad, because I've just had weird vibes and weird feelings about them for the whole time. And I think that, really, I'm glad you can hear. Awesome. I didn't know we were having some sound issues. I think that more shocking, I guess, would be, well, I mean, I think it'd be more convenient for it to be Grace's dad because he's kind of in love or whatever with Gigi, and he would do what she says, and maybe she kind of recruited him late on, and Boone was obviously a problem, and this person probably didn't care anything about Boone. I do appreciate Chanel's outfit, LG, because honestly, I appreciate all the clothing that they wear. And it's really funny because I really think the earmuffs that Chanel number 3 wears are really cute. And I was looking online for winter stuff. And it's just a little bit off topic, but not really. But anyway, and I saw some that kind of look like hers, and I almost bought them, but they're almost so ridiculous that I might feel ridiculous wearing them. But it gets cold where I live, so who knows? Okay, so Relia has a theory that we are waiting on. Yes, you tell us your theory, please. We're waiting to hear that. But I love the clothes that the Chanel's wear, so much. I love them. They're a little bit over the top. I really do not believe that dress costs $63,000, but maybe. I mean, I know some dresses are really expensive, but that was a little hardcore. That's a lot of money. Kay says, so glad Denise didn't die. I agree with you. I was worried. And I was even I always talk to my TV, and I was like, oh my gosh, don't die in the bathroom, because it was really, I thought definitely she could, because I feel like she's one of those characters who won't survive, at the end when we have just a few people who make it. So I was really worried, but I was really glad that she got out. And then sometimes I kind of wonder about her, and I wonder a lot of times actually if she's not in on it. I don't know if she's doing the killings, but she may be helping, because once again, she has a reason to want revenge because people wouldn't let her in that sorority when she was in college. So Tony says a PLL twin reference, 2 can only keep a secret if one of them is dead. That is true. Kay says they also played the 80s music again for all, exactly. They play that in every episode. The only person I can connect that to is Denise. Not Denise. Yeah, Denise, because I think that's when she was in college, right? She's the only one who fits into that age group, I feel like. Reagan says Grace's dad has no emotion at all. He could be a psychopath. I know he's weird, and they've tried to make him look weird, but they've tried to make everyone look suspicious. But, he makes those weird faces in the mirror, and he's just super weird. I don't know. Ceylon says glad she made it in time. I think this is a girl. I'm sorry. And if you're not a girl, tell me, because I'm just guessing. I can barely see your picture. Glad that Chanel number 5 didn't die. Actually, my favorite character. Yeah, I like Abigail's character. I like her. I don't know why she's not dying though. That's so weird to me. Dren says, we know that the RD must be someone in the room where Denise told the stories and in the room where Hester told her scary story. Okay, that's a good point. Why do we know that? And that's really great that you mentioned that, because 2 of those ghost stories came to life. The Denise's story came to life, and not the Denise's, but Denise's story came to life, and Hester's story came to life. So, exactly. Either, one of those Chanel's is doing this, or the other option is that the Red Devil was hiding somewhere in the room. Holly thinks that the dad is the other Red Devil, not the sister, the one who stabbed Boone. I think that's a great possibility. I think it's either Pete or the dad. Absolutely. Aurelia says Chanel number 5 is not her age. She was born in 1995. Do I think she looks like Bethany? Who's Bethany? The only Bethany that's coming to mind is like from Pretty Little Liars. I don't know. So please remind me. Joseph enjoyed the horror stories and that some items showed up in the episode, and the color toilet paper. That was cool, right? I like the color toilet paper a lot. Tony thinks that Denise is Zayde's mom, which would explain their constant bickering, kind of like Grace and her dad. Okay, that I could definitely see that. But does she know she's her mom? Because why is she always saying she's the killer? Like, why is she always mad at her? Tony says also last week Denise said her mom was mean, just like Zayde's grandmother. Okay, but I wonder, like, if that's her mom, like, why is she so insistent that Zayde's a killer? Like, why do you hate your daughter? Okay, Ceylon says this is the 3rd time Chanel 5 could have been killed by the Red Devil. The only thing that I can come up with is that she is involved in some way, but if she is, don't understand why the RD was in the car. Yeah, that's what I didn't get, because I thought, well, maybe she's going to get killed. That's what I was thinking last night, and then I was like, wait, I'm just so confused with that, because I really think something majorly is up with her, because she's always spared. Her life is always spared. Yet why would they take the time to put the Red Devil in her back seat if they knew that they didn't want to kill her? Does that make any sense? That makes like no sense to me. So LG says maybe Chanel number 5 was the twin, but isn't the RD. Yeah, but like, doesn't Boone think that he's been killing people with his sister? And so maybe this person who thinks is helping him kill people, he thinks it's his twin, but it has been someone else. Do you guys think that's possible? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too crazy out here. Grace's mom's Bethany. Thank you. Okay. Wow. I don't know where you're right. Grace's mom's name is Bethany. Okay. So I don't know why all these things are like making my face itch. I'm really sorry. But yes, thank you. I remember that now. Okay. So Tara says it was Boone who redid. She thinks it was Boone who redid the second scary story with Denise and Chanel number 5. Possibly. Was he in the room, you think? Okay. Gokai says a lot of the people saying the twin sister is Chanel 4. Was that Ariana? But it would be so anticlimactic because she was dead, never around, and it should be someone we've seen in the show before. Okay, I am not going to like it if Ariana is, a Red Devil. No, I'm not, guys. Come on, I cannot deal with the dead people coming back to life. We've had Boone. He's back to life. Now he's dead. Don't do it again. I think every show gets one person who they bring back to life, and that's your limit. Like, do not do that. I don't like that. But if they do it, hey, I don't know. And I was watching like E! News a couple days ago, and they were talking about the ratings for this show, and I'm concerned because they said, the ratings are really good for people going back and watching it like on iTunes or DVR or whatever, but the live ratings are like really, really down. I must have like something hair on my face. I'm really sorry to be doing that over and over. Okay. So Chanel number 2 is Ariana. Well, who is Chanel number 4? So confused. Okay. Saylin says maybe Chanel number 5 is the killer and wanted to make people trust her and pretend like she was attacked in the car and just used a ghost story. Chanel number 6 told that she could have killed the twins herself. All right. So, hey, so what if the ghost story that she says that that happened to her, what if it never happened? Like, we saw it and everything. I do. I have like cat hair on me. Oh my gosh, gross. Okay, so we saw it happen, but she totally could have Chanel number 4 was killed by the spray tan machine. Oh my gosh, she was from like way, way back. Okay, thank you for clearing up all the Chanels for me. But what if this never happened? Like, what if she just made that whole scene up and she murdered someone, or she just made that up? Like, she didn't even murder, like, the truck driver, you know? I don't know. What do you think? Savannah, thank you for being here. Yes, it's okay that you're late. This is going to be longer. It goes to 6:45 Eastern time. So, okay. So, okay, right. If Chanel number 4 is the Red Devil, I'm not into that either. Does anyone like that? I don't like that. I have no idea who this person is. We barely know, like, the Ariana character, and that would make me mad. But we definitely don't know the tanning woman. I would be so aggravated. That would drive me crazy, guys. That's awful. Okay. Gokai says, laughing so hard when Denise was telling the Japanese ghost stories because they are real. I think I read that before, but yes, they were funny. And I did like the colored toilet paper. That's okay, though. Reagan says, when Boone revealed himself to Wes, even though we knew it was him, she got chills because how crazy if we didn't know it was Boone. Would have loved it. Yes, I know. Me too. Totally agree. LG, I am worried that somebody will show up as an RD and will be like, what? Like, really worried, you know? Right. So you guys do not like Chanel number 4. I don't like any, okay, here's my thing. I'll just tell you right now. I don't like anyone who is dead being the second RD. I don't like people we barely know, like Feather or someone being the RD. I don't know. I mean, I'm just, you know, if they just go with people who are still alive, there honestly are not that many people who could be the twin sister. But I do think there's another person who's doing the killings as well. So Aurelia hates that we don't know who she is. If she really was the Red Devil, then never watch this again. I really don't think that they will go there. Like, I really don't think Ryan Murphy would do that because just like I've told you guys a million times, I've watched a ton of his shows, and for the most part, he doesn't do crazy Pretty Little Liars like stuff. It doesn't mean he can't or won't, but you know. Okay. Ceylon says, doesn't understand that when Boone was on the phone and asked the person if they talked to Zayday recently and how she's doing, and the only person that would be talking to Zayday is Grace. I have said probably from day one that it is Grace. I believe I have. I probably said it from the very first video that I have done. I still think Grace could be either the twin sister or she's involved. LG, that's very funny. Maybe it's Coney. It is Coney. Let it be Coney. If it's going to be a person that come back from the dead, let it be Coney because that would at least make me laugh. But still be angry, but still laugh. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I really think Grace is involved in this somehow. I've seen too many. I'm just too much of a horror movie fan, and I know how they're trying to like pattern themselves after a lot of other scary movie franchises like the Scream franchise. And it is literally always the person who is the nicest person who's never making anyone mad, who everyone likes. And that's Grace, you know? Savannah read one about the truck in a book at her library. Okay, so it seems like the ghost stories they used were actually real or maybe real or stuff that they didn't make up. You know, they've heard before. So Gokai says, okay, he didn't get the chance to hook up with Zayday. No, he didn't, which was bad for him and bad for her, I guess, because now that's never going to happen. So Dren says, actually, Hester has to be alive because there were some photos of Leah Michelle in the finale of Scream Queens, and she had a black eye mask on. All right, so I thank you for that, and I do not like that. I mean, no. Stop it. But here's my thing. I won't be upset if next episode they say like she gets up from the bottom of the stairs and she's like, I'm gonna be okay, or she goes to the hospital and she makes it. That's fine. Okay, yeah, I kind of thought she could definitely be alive. I'm okay with that. I'm not cool with them like taking her, burying her, having a funeral, blah blah blah, and then like, oh god, it was fake, or like the Boone thing. I'm not cool with that. Okay. But it's okay if she gets up at the beginning of next week's episode and she's like, I'm fine. I'm going to be okay. Then I'm okay with that. Relia says, wonder why this episode made Chanel number 3, which is Earmuffs Girl. Thank you. Made her dumb about Boone being a ghost. Who else is dumb in the show? Chad. Right. Definitely those two people are on the same mental level in the show. Okay. I don't know how much of that is an act for both of them, not just because they're acting on the show. Like, I mean, their characters may be pretending to be dumber than they really are, especially Chad, who is really funny, honestly. I love that character. So Caleb heard the crack in Hester's neck. Okay, right. So we think maybe she broke her rib or something. Maybe something else cracked. I don't know. The book ball says Grace doesn't have closure as far as her mom goes. Maybe her dad lied. Maybe her mom is alive after all, and we'll see her during the finale. Not crazy about the dead people turning up alive. Yes, that is just a point that I had made before. I definitely think that Grace's mom is alive for some reason. I thought that for a little while now. Maybe, like you said, maybe her dad lied. Well, he's lied before. He's already lied once because he claimed that the house, burned down and that's how she died. But he didn't tell the truth because then Chanel #1 found out she died because she was an alcoholic and ran into a tree. I guess. I don't even know if all that's true. I don't know. Tony thought Denise was going to die. So did I. I'm so glad she didn't. LG's thinking any character at this point would be predictable. Yeah, maybe. I'm hoping that they're going to do some stuff that will be shocking to us in some way. We'll see. Reagan's dream wish list. Chanel #5 is the twin sister, and she acts overdramatic for a reason. And Chad is the inside man that'll be in on it. Would like for Pete to be an inside man too. Now, you guys, come on. If it turns out that Chad is actually smart and that he is in on this, I think that's going to shock some people. I mean, I know I've said this from the beginning or for a while, so you guys might not be totally shocked, but I think that would be a good reveal. I think that would be a twist. I really do. I don't think when you watch the show, you can't call that, That's what I think. So Caleb says, isn't it funny how all the girls can defeat the Red Devil? Chanel too, Denise and Chanel. Yeah, I do think that's funny. Savannah thinks that Grace and Boone are the twins and Pete is the other RD. I really do think that Grace is the twin. Absolutely think that. And I think she knows that she is. Absolutely. And yeah, Pete gets insider info from Grace. Definitely think Pete is probably in on it. Definitely shady. Tony says maybe the lady in the woods was Grace's mom. Okay, possibly. I really think she's still alive. Okay, so Drin says, heard a theory about Pete being, okay, this has been circulating because a few of you told me this. I'm hoping that's not true. Basically, there's a theory out there that Pete is the other Red Devil and also the twin, who's dressing as a girl, I guess, or not dressing as a girl, but a girl who's either dressing as a guy or identifies as a guy. I don't know. It sounds very Pretty Little Liars to me. Just got to say that hope that the show's not doing that. Please, not after, if you guys, most of you are PLL people, I may go crazy if that happened. See, what if Boone is not dead? He was only stabbed in the shoulder. Oh gosh, I can't take another fake Boone death. One fake Boone death is one too many. Let's don't do it again, please. Yeah, I do, Tony, agree that the whole, gender stuff with the twin is too much like PLL. Surely no one else has the same exact thought. The people who wrote this show didn't have the same exact thought as the Pretty Little Liars writers. Because they would have to be writing that before that finale even came out. So I don't think they could copy it. I don't think that's going to happen. Caleb thinks that, he used to think that Hester was the twin because Boone had black hair and Hester is the only other girl who has sort of black hair. Sure, but Grace could be dyeing her hair, or whoever it is could have black hair. You just never know naturally. LG is not a fan of a random person being an RD. Absolutely not. Absolutely not at all. I agree. I hope they don't do that, Okay, so Gokai is asking, what do I think of the scene where the Chanels were feeding Hester sushi, unpasteurized cheese, and tobacco-infused champagne? Very funny. When she announced that she was pregnant, I knew she was lying. And I like the way that they got her to prove that, or to admit that she was lying. So yes, I thought that was really funny. Reagan says, isn't it funny how PLL makes us go crazy of the dead people not being dead? Also, PLL makes me scared to think things are confirmed for the show. I think it's sad I think most of you have watched Pretty Little Liars, and it makes me sad that, yes, it has affected the way I watch any other show, and I always worry, except for How to Get Away with Murder, because it's just really good, but I always worry that they're going to do something stupid and crazy, even though they're not. This shows nothing to do with Pretty Little Liars, but yes, it scares me, and it's sad, actually, and I blame Marlene, Okay. So Dren says thinks that the other killer is the girl twin. So you think that the person who killed Boone was actually the twin sister. That's what you're saying, right? And the other twin is either Grace or Hester. Yes, I actually was thinking at the beginning of this episode that I really, really, really thought that Hester was the twin. But then when it seemed to be that Hester was getting murdered at the time of her, not her brother, we don't know, at the time of Boone's, murder. So now I don't know what to say about that, because maybe those two scenes were not going on at the same time, but it definitely seemed like they were. Caleb's asking if I would choose the red or blue toilet paper. I like the blue toilet paper better. I just like the color. So, hi, Brittany. Thank you for being here tonight. Kay says, do you think Grace's dad knows that she has a twin if she is the twin? Yes, I think so. The dean knows that, and Gigi knows that because she raised them. So I do think that. Which, gosh, I don't know. It's confusing because if Grace is, so if her dad is the dad of these twins, if he was the other Red Devil, did he kill his son, Boone? Surely not, okay? Reagan says red, blue is too slow for dying. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Good point. I honestly was just picking based on which color I like better, but I think you're right. I think Caleb was wanting to ask how I choose to die. Neither, because I want to fight back like Denise and I want to live. So Ceylon says, just going to say, glad that Earl Grey didn't end up being a killer. He was casted as a main character, but didn't show up a lot. So kind of worried they could fall back on him and say he's an RD. I agree with you. A lot of you told me that you thought Earl was one of the RDs, and I was going to be really upset if that was true because he was honestly a pretty minor character. I love his name. I think that's very funny, but beyond that, Kay cannot wait for How to Get Away with Murder tomorrow. Want to know who shot Annalise? Yes, me too. And that's about all I'll say about that, because one time I let out too much information and spoiled some stuff for some people, but I am super excited for that show tomorrow. Jardy says, what if Grace's mother is the other Red Devil? Okay, I get the motive. She's definitely got the motive. It's interesting. It's something no one could figure out, so I like that. But I would be a little upset because we don't know her at all, and we've just seen her from flashbacks, and it would be a little upsetting, I think. So LG says the dean also said the girl twin was some random girl, and we don't know what the Chanel's names are. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think that the dean kind of knows who the twin is as a grown-up, That's kind of what I think. Dren, I'm not watching American Horror Story. I started watching this season, and I wasn't loving the first episode, but I hear from a lot of people that it's really good, so I don't know. Gokai says, who do you guys think would win? And is a crazier revenge mastermind, A or the Red Devil? The Red Devils. I think A's stupid, honestly. Okay, Relia says, Gigi took the babies and went to the house and became the hag of Shady Lane. Someone had probably called the crazy place, the insane asylum, and hid the kids so she can raise them. And the girl that draws saw the kids. Caleb says, do you think there's any possibility that the dean is the killer? I don't think so, but do you? I do think there's a possibility, yes. I think she could have been the one who was that other Red Devil who killed Boone. I also think it's a very good possibility that she is in on it. And you know why I say that is because the actress, Jamie Lee, is an iconic actress, but she's been in so many horror movies, and I think that kind of in tribute to her and out of respect for her, I think that they would kind of make her involved in this just because of who she is. I think that I could just see Ryan Murphy going down this thought process, or having this thought process where he's like, let's do something big with your character. She's already a main character, obviously, but I could see them making her involved in a twisted way. Absolutely. So Ceylon says, I swear I thought I heard Gigi say to the RD that Boone was their brother. Do you think she could have meant figuratively? I also think she could have meant she didn't want, if that was not, you said, okay, brother. I don't remember hearing that. Does anybody else hear that? Okay. I need to watch it again. I don't know, but that's another thought that I had. because we think that it is a girl and a guy. What if for some reason, this is crazy, but what if like the woman who painted the two babies made one of them a girl, but it wasn't really a girl? What if it's two guys? Have you thought about that? Because if so, then Pete has to be the twin, is what I think. Gokai wants to know, I think I answered that already. Yes. Dren says, okay, so she said brother. So she said to, so you guys are saying that she said to Boone that he has a twin brother. Boone was their brother. To the RD. No, okay. I know what you're saying. So you're saying that Gigi said to the RD that Boone was their brother. Okay, well, that's what we think. That's what we think. Okay, so now, I don't know. I'm always off on a tangent. It makes no sense. So if she's saying to Boone, or to the RD that Boone was your brother, then it could still be a girl, because that makes sense. Did she say that? She did say that. I remember it. She said that after the RD killed Boone. So if so, but it still could be a guy. It still could be a guy. I think my mind has been corrupted by the crazy stunts that Pretty Little Liars pulls, and now I'm thinking of the most ridiculous theories that make me sound crazy. Relia says the dean has a motive. She hates the sorority anyway, but she cannot be the RD because of the age differences. Okay, absolutely, she cannot be the twin. We all know that. I think there could be another Red Devil, which could be her, or could be she's just helping in some way. She's not doing the killings, but she's helping. And I forgot to mention to you guys that, remember when I always thought that scene where like Gigi and Grace's dad were chilling and the RD comes in with the chainsaw? I always thought that was just like to make Gigi look kind of innocent, and that totally was true. I forgot to mention that because Boone confirmed that last night. Cool, Reagan. So, yes, I know. I'm sorry. This show, Pretty Little Liars, has like done something to my brain, and it's making me think crazy things and crazy theories, because I think that the people who came up with what they did on that show were just like, let's think of the craziest thing that makes no sense. It doesn't connect to anything, and let's go with it, honestly. All right, Caleb wants to know, who do I think is the next character to die? You think it's Chanel number 5. I say no, because she's had so many chances to be killed and she wasn't killed, and something is up with that, and I don't know what it is. So I think the next character to die, wow, who do I think? Zayday. That's what I think. All right. Savannah says, when Denise said, which should I choose, about talking about the toilet paper, yelling at her TV for her to just crawl under the door of the stall and get out of the bathroom. Right, I know. Why did she waste so much time in there? Like when she saw that the toilet papers were in there, the colored toilet papers, I was just like, yeah, you need to get out of here. Don't pick one. Hello. Jardy said it's Chanel number 2. She was the other Red Devil. You think that is the twin sister? Tony says Chad has to know more than what he's telling. I so agree. And I think it's HLT, right? HLTIGUE. I'm not sure how to say your name. You can help me out if you want. Worried about the PLL aspect and would be so upset. Absolutely. Yes. Saline laughed so hard when Denise said something about her hair when the RD was going to drown her. Oh my gosh. So funny. She was worried about her hair getting wet when basically she was getting ready to be murdered. I found that hilarious. Savannah says some of the characters are so stupid. Plus, since the RD was coming over the side of the stall, she would have time to get out. They are so stupid. And obviously, it's because this show is not super serious. And I think it's really funny because when it first started, some people watched my video and they're like, I hate this show. It's not real. Yeah, I mean, it's like a parody of horror shows. It's not supposed to be real. It's over the top and ridiculous. You know, you can't take it as like, oh my gosh, these people should be geniuses. Okay, because it's just so silly. Really, a lot of it's silly. Dren says maybe blue was about the boy twin and red was the girl twin. Could have been. Typically, it would just be pink for a girl, but who knows, really. Reagan says Denise was like, it's not real when the RD was pulling her hair. Yeah. I mean, Denise is awesome. I was really going to be sad if she died because she just brings so much comedy to that show, you know? LG's hoping Chanel number 1 doesn't die. I do not think she will die. I think she'll be one of the main people. Absolutely. You also have to think that with her being the main character pretty much of the show, that she could definitely be a possibility for the twin or something. She could have been adopted. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know though. Now that I'm thinking about it, we had those flashbacks of her as a kid and everything. So maybe not. She could still be involved though. Not really sure. Tony would love it if the twin was Mona. Oh my gosh, no. No, 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 no. Can't take it. Okay, really? I thought Denise was going to be pulled in the toilet and flushed away. It would be funny if that happened. Well, that one girl that like was in like the Japanese story, she got thrown like pulled into the toilet. It was insane. Caleb's asking if I know that Fox has copyrighted a show by the name Scream Queens Summer Camp, most likely season 2. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. I knew there was going to be a second season, so that should be so interesting. I'm just really interested to know like who will be in the cast next season. Jamie says, is the figurative brother mean Chad is a fraternity brother? Also think that Hester put her spine back in place with her fall down the stairs. Ooh, maybe she's solved her scoliosis issues. I like that. So, so you're trying to figure out if that figurative brother means Chad is fraternity brother. Huh. That's a good question. I really thought that Chad actually liked Boone. He really seemed to, unless that's part of his stupid act. But I like that thought process there. Actually, I like that a lot. A lot. Because we all think that she's talking about blood brother. But we all know in a fraternity, everyone calls everyone their brother. I think that's really smart. And honestly, if that should be true. Because if that was Chad who did the killings there and him being a red devil, I would be so happy. That would make my life. LG's thinking only 1 or 2 people will survive. Gokai says, wasn't it suspicious that after Hester told the story, the same thing happened to Chanel 5? She's the other RD. She's alive. Yeah, I mean, obviously it makes you think that the stuff going on with 2 of the ghost stories recreated, that either one of the Chanels was, doing this stuff and is an RD, or it's someone hiding in that room, So Ceylon doesn't think Chanel is the RD. The only reason to say that is because that means Boone was the one that almost killed Zayde in the hallway, which doesn't make sense why Chanel saved her. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying here. Reagan says, can we talk about the police saying they thought it was a ghost? Oh my gosh, now that was really silly, but it was supposed to be silly. Felt so bad for Grace and Zayde. Can we talk about the police saying that? Yeah, we can talk about the police saying they thought it was a ghost. That comment posted like 3 times. I think your brain and PLL and all that have gone too. Yeah, I mean, the police are stupid and they're ridiculous, and they're about, honestly, for those of you who like Pretty Little Liars, they're about as efficient as the Rosewood Police Department because they don't know what they're doing and they can't solve the crimes in that town. R.I.P. truck driver guy. Absolutely. He had a very gruesome death. Caleb doesn't think that Chanel is the killer either because she is the one that has been hurt the most by this. Her pumpkin patch and her making her look like a bad house president, and they're closing, I guess, the campus for a while, and she's really upset about that because she thinks Chad's going to break up with her. So yeah, Relia said he was pretending to be gay so he was not in love with Chad, maybe. Yeah, I do think that that's true. I think that Boone was pretending to be gay, but I really do feel like his relationship with Chad, like, I feel like they really did care about each other, like, as friends. It seems sincere, but I don't really know. Oh my gosh, we only have like 2 minutes left. So if you are new here and you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really love it if you would, especially since we only have a few episodes left of this show and you don't want to miss out on my recap videos where I give you more theories and like more in-depth talking about this show. So tomorrow my video for this week's episode will be up, and I would love it if you subscribe so you make sure you catch that. Yeah, he was just Chad's best friend, as Gokai said. He wasn't in love with them, even though that's what people thought, because I guess he wanted people to think that. I don't know. Jordan just wants to see the finale. Yeah, but I don't want it to be the finale because then it's like over and then the whole next season is a different cast. LGD thinks the second RD is Chad and the Chanel 5 is the twin, doesn't know that Boone is her brother, and that's why they're sparing her. Sorry, I'm kind of reading these quickly so I can get these in. I would love it for RD number 2 to be Chad. That would make my life. Ceylon's main suspects are Chanel 5 and Grace. Maybe things don't make sense right now, but they said a lot of flashbacks will be in the last episode, so will all be explained. Absolutely. And I definitely think that Grace is going to be involved and not in a good way. As far as there being a break, Joseph, when this season ends, I'm pretty sure it just ends and it's over, and they're going to start a new season with new people and a new storyline. Raelia, that's totally fine. If you do have YouTube, I don't know if you're subscribed to me, so if you can subscribe here, that would be cool. If you already have, thank you. And Caleb said that 4 characters will survive and move on to season 2. He's saying that Ryan Murphy said that, so yes, but it'll be like a different, storyline. It will not continue this storyline. Maybe Chad got mad at Boone and decided to kill him, says Savannah. Possibly, even though they seem like they were on good terms earlier in the episode. I don't know. So it's time to go, and I really appreciate you guys being here tonight. There's so many of you, and you guys are awesome. Thank you, Relia, for subscribing to me, by the way. So thank you so much for coming to these chats, because I think they're super fun, but they would be like totally boring if no one came here and no one talked but me. You guys would like be bored to tears. So you guys make my channel and these things amazing. So again, I will have my video up for this week's episode tomorrow, so be sure you catch that. And if you want to leave me comments on this video will actually be up on my channel in like a few minutes. So if I did not get to your comment, or if you think of something later, just leave me comments and I will come back tonight and reply to them. So I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.